So today we're going to be talking about how to write a good personal statement for university, which for a lot of students can be the trickiest bit of the application process and certainly the one that takes the most time. What qualifies me to talk about personal statements and how to write them? Well, for the last 10 years or so, I've been working for universities in what are called outreach teams. And basically, they're the departments that go out to schools and colleges and deliver talks on writing personal statements, making applications, and researching universities and that. So I think what I can probably do with this vlog is give you some really good hints and tips to write a perfect personal statement. What I'm not going to do is spend any time speaking about the really important but really boring stuff like how long the personal statement needs to be or where it fits in to the process, because you're going to get all that information from your teachers anyway. Instead, what I'm going to do is spend a little bit of time talking about why it's important, and then we're going to have a look at some top tips for putting together a great personal statement that would be really impressive to admissions tutors if they receive them. Okay, so first things first, what I would like you to do for me is pick your favourite puppy. Now, what do we notice about these puppies? Well, firstly, they're all the same colour, they're all the same breed, they are roughly the same size, they're all dogs, they've got 4 legs, they've got the same ears, they've got the same eyes. There's a lot of similarity with them, but you were still able to pick a favourite, weren't you? And there's a reason for that. And the reason is that each one has a personality, okay? Each one has something that appeals to you, that you identified with, and you thought, yeah, you know what, I like that one best. Same goes for university applications and personal statements, okay? If you think about it, if you're 18 at the moment and you're going to university, you are going to be one of 500,000 UCAS applicants that are doing exactly the same thing. All of you are probably going to be roughly the same age. All of you are probably going to do, roughly similar experiences with school and be studying roughly the same qualifications. So, how does the admission tutor tell you apart? How does he pick the favourite? The answer is the personal statement, okay? The personal statement in the application process is your opportunity to be the admissions tutor's favourite puppy. That's why it's really, really important. And, clues in the title, in order to do that, you need to speak about things relevant to you and your interests and make it personal. What we're going to do now is go through about 5 different tips on things that you need to consider and helpful ways to approach writing the personal statement. Number 1, make it personal, okay? Don't make it generic. As I said, the reason you've got that personal statement there is because the tutor wants to hear about you, your interest in this particular subject and your experiences around it. And this is especially important at the start, okay? If you were starting your personal statement with something like, for as long as I can remember, I have always had an interest in, all you're going to do is send the admissions tutor to Snoozeville, okay? It's not going to be useful and it's not going to be interesting for them to read. So instead, maybe think of things like the conversation that you had that sparked your interest in the particular subject. Is it linked to a career that you want to go into, or is it because you're really, really passionate about this particular area and want to find out more about it? Is it through something that happened with your family? Say you want to work as a nurse. Is it because you've experienced the NHS working really well and supporting a relative that you've got that's been sick? All of those types of things are perfect starts to personal statement because it makes it personal and about you and demonstrates your interest. So that's really, really important. Make the personal statement personal, especially at the start. Number 2, keep it specific to the course that you're interested in, okay? Imagine if you are an admissions tutor for psychology, let's say. Do you think they're going to be more interested in the reading that you've done around clinical psychology and developmental psychology and how it might affect criminal behaviour on the forensic side? Or do you think they're going to be more interested in the fact that you're part of the swimming team and that you enjoy going to the cinema with friends on the weekend? Doesn't take a genius, does it? They're going to be more interested in the stuff that's related to the subject. Reason for that is because that's what they spend their life doing. They know that if they accept your application, you're going to be sitting in a room in front of them next year. So they want to see that you are just as passionate about the subject as they are. So number 2 is very important. Keep it specific to the course that you're applying for. On this, I would also say, possibly if you can keep it down to 1 or maybe 2 courses that are very, very close together in terms of subject content, you're going to be able to write a good personal statement. If you're applying for biology and drama, it's going to make it really, really difficult, okay? Because if you write a lot about biology, the drama admissions tutor is going to be like, what was this here? If you write a lot about drama, it's going to be the other way around. So if you are making an application, try to make the subjects that you're applying for either, just the one subject, or make sure they're very, very close together so you can write a personal statement that's really, really good for both. So tip number 3, use something called the 3-sheet method. Something that students can really, really struggle with the personal statement is how on earth to pick out the experiences that are going to be most relevant for the course. And it's a really, really tough one. What I always advise students to do before starting the personal statement is get 3 sheets of blank paper, white A4 paper, in front of them. And on the first sheet, write down absolutely everything that you can think of that you've done kind of in school and extracurricular as well. All of your experience, whether it be field trips, whether it be visiting art galleries or museums or bits of work experience or things that you've covered in particular subjects that you've really enjoyed, get it all down on that first sheet. Then on the second one, put yourself in the shoes of an admissions tutor who's just found the perfect applicant for the course, okay? Literally every single box tick. This person is amazing. What skills, knowledge and experience would be there, okay? What would that student have that made them so great? And what you want to be doing on this second sheet is listing all of that experience. So on sheet number 1, you've got all of the things that you've done. On sheet number 2, you've got all of the stuff that the perfect student for the course would have done. What you need to do on sheet number 3 is match the 2 together. Okay, so you want to match the skills that you've got, the experiences that you've got, the knowledge that you've got against the skills, knowledge and experience that that perfect applicant for the course would have. What you'll probably find is there's some areas that you've got loads of stuff to talk about and really good experiences, but perhaps other areas where you haven't got quite so much. You know what, that's okay. That's actually absolutely brilliant, because what you've still got is a little bit of time, so you can do something about that. If it means reading an extra book, or maybe, going to the theatre or a museum or something on the Saturday, do it, because you know how useful it's going to be through this process for your application. So that's tip number 3, okay? Use the 3-sheet approach. Tip number 4, show, don't tell. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say I was applying for a job at Tesco or a big supermarket or something, and on the application I wrote I should get this job at Tesco because I've worked in a bank before, and then I didn't put anything else. That was it. I'm probably not going to get that job at Tesco. Equally, on that application form, if I put I should get this job at Tesco because I'm good with money and I'm good with customers and I'm always on time, I'm still probably not going to get that interview or that job with Tesco. What's going to get me the job with Tesco is saying something like, over the last 2 years, I've been working part-time in a bank. During that time, I've regularly dealt with difficult customers and handled large amounts of money in a responsible fashion. On top of this, I was also responsible for individually opening and closing the branch on Saturdays. All of a sudden, what's happened there is I've probably got an interview at Tesco. The reason for that is I haven't just said that I've done a thing, okay? And I haven't just listed a load of experiences that I think the admissions tutor wants to hear. Instead, what I've done is matched the experiences and the skills that I've already got to what I know they are looking for. That's what you want to be doing with this personal statement, okay? You want to be demonstrating, showing that you are going to be a great student for the course, not just telling an admissions tutor that you've got skills that you think they're looking for and listing them off. And equally, not just telling them that you've done a load of good stuff, but not drawing out of that why it's really, really relevant as well, okay? So number 4 is show, don't tell. Number 5, Sounds really, really simple, but get it proofread, okay? If you're anything like me, when you read something back that you've written, you will read exactly what you want to have put rather than what's actually there. And I think that's pretty natural. Sometimes as well, like Microsoft Word and stuff, if you're putting it in and you've just missed out a letter, but it's still a word, it won't pick it up. So I remember reading a personal statement once for a law degree, and a couple of times during the statement, the student said that they wanted to be a layer rather than a lawyer. Now, that's probably a very different profession, but it was just a minor grammatical error, okay? The last thing that you want to happen is for the admissions tutor to put your personal statement, your application, in the no pile because you've been a bit lazy with your commas or you've missed out a letter for a word here and there. So get it proofread. I'm not saying, and something that can be a bit confusing sometimes, is if you get loads and loads of people to look at your personal statement and give you different advice on the content. I'm not saying do that. For that, I'd say just stick to kind of one trusted advisor. But for proofreading purposes, it's really, really useful to get it read by as many people as possible, just so you can be 100% sure that what you're saying is what the admissions tutor wants to hear. Okay, so they're my 5 top tips for writing a great personal statement. Let's just do a quick overview. Number 1. Make it personal, especially the opening. Remember, you don't want to be sending that admissions tutor to Snoresville. What you want to be doing is engaging them with your personal interest in the subject. Number 2, keep it specific to the course that you're applying for and demonstrate your interest where possible. Like I say, yes, it's brilliant that you've got interests outside of school and you play a lot of sports, or you enjoy going to the cinema with your mates, but that admissions tutor is going to be more interested in stuff that's directly relevant to the course, so try your best to keep it specific. Number 3, use the 3 sheets method to identify the bits of your experience that are really, really relevant at the moment and really useful, and also any gaps that you've got that need filling before writing the personal statement. That way, you can be really confident that you're ticking every single box when it comes to what the admissions tutor is looking for and what's going to be really, really useful for the course. Number 4, show, don't tell. Okay, you need to demonstrate your experience. Don't just speak about something that you've done, or don't just list a load of skills you think they want to hear. Instead, match your experiences and your knowledge with the things that they're looking for, and talk about the skills that you've demonstrated or the knowledge that you've built through that. Okay, so number 4, show, don't tell. Number 5, get it proofread. Okay, get it proofread by as many people as possible. The last thing that you want to happen with this personal statement is that you don't get into the degree course that you want to, or you don't get an offer purely because you've missed a few commas and full stops. So make sure you get it proofread. That's really important. Okay, so they're my 5 top tips for writing a really good personal statement. If you found this useful, just hit like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing an awful lot more kind of vlog episodes about the process of applying to university, how to pick the right course for you, as well as introducing different things that universities do, like summer schools or taster days, that can be really, really useful. So yeah, if you found it helpful and you want to get more from me, just click subscribe and I will see you soon.